Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial is this super adorable, well, before I even get started, it's actually another granny stitch idea that I wanted to get a lot of my yarn used up. Well, I shouldn't say a lot of my yarn. I wanted to get a color of my yarn that I had a lot of used up. And so another granny stitch idea that I thought of was the rectangle. So this is the rectangle blanket, and you can see more pictures at the beginning of the video. But so here's the thing. This, even the color, this whole little set was inspired by a blanket that I saw that Llama Mama Kayla made for, I think she made it and then her son Elijah wanted it, or he asked for it, or she gave it to him, I don't know. Anyway, she used this color of Red Heart Ombre, and I fell in love with it. So first I want to give credit to her for showing that, and also, with having said that, I do want to say that this tutorial is only going to be the dress, and the reason being is because I'm going to put a link in the description box for her tutorial, her little tutorial she did on how to make the rectangle granny, the little granny Afghan. So for the blanket and the pillow, I want you guys to go to her channel and watch her tutorial. And I followed the exact same thing. I followed the exact same thing for the blanket, and then for the pillow, I just made 2 panels and back loop slip stitched them together and inserted my pillow, slip stitched it shut. Okay, so I do want to say that. And then also for the booties, try not to knock my mannequin over. I'm going to put a link in the description box because it's the exact same pattern that I made for of another set. The only difference is I used a 4mm hook with my scraps of the Red Heart Super Saver Ombre. Okay, so having said all that, this baby dress fits perfectly on my mannequin that fits into 0 to 3 month Granimal clothes from Walmart. And I made this to be more of a nightgown kind of dress. So there's no buttons. All we're going to do is just put a little tie on the back. Just like that. And I didn't put any buttons on it, but you are more than welcome to put buttons on it. Totally up to you. And then I just put a little bow on it to kind of give it a tad bit of decoration. I thought that was glue. And yeah, so my baby blanket, I just worked the rows until it measures 35 inches wide, and then 30 inches, 30 inches wide, 35 inches long. So this is more of a little bit of a smaller one. Usually the baby blankets I make are a little bit larger than that, but I just used up the yarn I had, which actually this baby blanket took 2 skeins. I used 1 skein for the pillow, 1 skein for the dress, and then scraps for the little baby booties. And then for the baby blanket, I used my 6mm hook. Come on, there. I used my 6mm hook for the blanket. I used a 4mm hook for the baby booties, and a 5mm hook for the dress and the pillow, okay? So 6 for the blanket, 5 for the hook and the pillow, and then 4mm for the little booties, okay? And let's see, what else do I need to tell you? Yeah, I think that's it. If you want your dress to be a size smaller, a size or 2 smaller, go down to a 4mm or 4.5mm. I will say with a 4mm, the stitches may come out a bit stiff on the dress, but I bet it'll come out of it if you wash and dry it in the I about said the drying machine, the washing machine and the dryer, or just let it hang dry. Same with the, well, I don't think you could go down much smaller than a 4mm on this yarn. I think it would be way too stiff. All right, so get your guys' supplies together and let's get started. Okay, so to get started, go ahead and get your chain of 55 done. You can go ahead and just pause the video and get it done. I got mine done before I started because I didn't think you guys would want to watch that. Okay, so get your chain of 55 done and come back here, and we are going to start row 1 by working a double crochet in the second chain from hook. So right there, we're going to go right in there with a double. Just like that. And then we're just going to work a double into each of the remaining chains. Alright, so you guys can go ahead and get that done, and I am going to pause my video and get that done off camera and be right back. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, so I double crocheted all across into this last chain. I'm going to work one double, chain one and turn, and we're going to double crochet right back into that double that we just made. So double into the very first double, double into the next, and then we're going to increase into that next double crochet, increase into the next double. So what does that mean? That means 2 doubles into 1 double crochet. 1 and 2. All right, now we're going to double into the next 2 doubles. 1 and 2. And then into the next double, we're going to work a double crochet increase. Sorry, I just bumped the camera with my glasses. Oop, 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 oop. All right, double into the next 2. 1 and 1 into the next. Double crochet increase into the next double. All right, and that is what we're going to repeat across. Double into the next 2, double crochet increase into the next. Double into the next 2, increase. Double into the next 2, increase. All the way to that very last double crochet. The very last one. It's a little wonky laying sideways, okay? So go ahead and repeat that across, and at the end you should have 72 double crochet, okay? So I'm going to get my row done, and I will be right back. Okay, so I have made that across, and I have my last double right here. You can see it laying a little sideways, and that gets my increase. And that's going to give me 72 double crochet. If you guys can hear that bird outside, it's a cardinal. I'm going to be quiet for just a second to see if you can hear him. Oh, I don't hear him. I think he flew off. Okay. Anywho, so to go on to round 3, we're going to chain 1 and turn. And we're going to double crochet right back into that very first double. And then we're going to double crochet into the next 2. And double crochet increase into the next. So this row, instead of working 2 double crochet increase, we're working 3 double crochet increase. So double into the next 3. Increase into the next. One, 2, 3. Increase. 1, 2, 3, increase. So repeat that all the way across to the very last stitch, and you should have, at the end, you should have 90 double crochet, okay? So I will get my row done, and I will meet you at the end. All right, so I have repeated that across. Into this last double crochet, we're going to work the increase. And that should be 90 double crochet. So for row 4, we're going to chain 1 and turn. We're going to double crochet into that very first double. Double crochet into the next 3 doubles. 1, 2, 3, and increase into the next. So now this row we're working 4 double crochet, then an increase. 4 doubles, then an increase. Double crochet into the next 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Increase into that next double. All right, and you're going to repeat that across for row 4. And when you get to the end, you should have 108 double crochet. So I'm going to work 4 double increase, 4 double increase all the way, and I'll meet you at that last double. I'll be right back. All right, so I've repeated that across, and again, my last double crochet gets the increase, and that is 1, right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that's the end of row 4, and you should have 108 double crochet. So to move on to row 5, we're going to chain 1 and turn, and we are going to double crochet into that very first double right there. And we're going to double crochet into the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doubles, and then we're going to increase into that next double. And then double crochet into the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Increase into the next. And that is the repeat for row 5. Double into the next 5, increase into the next. 2, 3, 4, 5, increase. All right, so repeat that all the way across, and I will meet you at the last double crochet. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have made it all the way to the last double, and once again the last double gets an increase, and that is the end of row, what was that, 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Alrighty, so for row 6, we're going to chain 1 and turn, and can you guess it? We're going to double crochet into 6, increase, 6, increase. So double crochet into that very first double, and then double crochet into the next 5, so that's 6 double. My work is falling off my table. There we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we increase into the next. Double crochet into the next 6, and then increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, increase. All right, so you're going to repeat that across all the way, all the way. The only difference is we aren't going to end with an increase. We're just going to work 1 double crochet into that last double right there, okay? So you should work an, 6 increase all the way, work your last increase, and then you should have 7 double crochet left. So just double crochet into those last 7, okay? So I'm going to get my row 6 done, and by the end you should have 143 double crochet, okay? So I'm going to get mine done, and I will be right back. Alrighty, so I worked that across. There's my increase, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's my last one is 7. So I'm just going to double into those last 7, and that should give us, what did I say, 143 double crochet. So this is the last increase row. Now what we're going to work are we're going to skip stitches to create little sleeves. It's really hard to pay attention to what I'm doing and talk at the same time. Okay, so now we are going to I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change color. Where's my scissors? You don't have to do this. I'm only doing this because I'm picky about my color changing yarn. I'm ready to start the lighter shades. All right, so to start our next row, row 7, we are going to chain 1 and turn. And we're going to double crochet into the very first double crochet. So that happens to be the same one I attached into. So double into that very first double crochet, and then we're going to double into the next 20. So we'll have a set of 21 double crochet. So I'm not going to make you guys watch me double crochet all those. So I'm going to get mine done real quick, and I will be right back. Okay, so I double crocheted into the next 20, so I have a set of 21 double crochet right here. And what we're going to do now is get you a stitch marker. I about said slip marker. Get you a stitch marker. And we are going to count off 30 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. And then mark that very next stitch, or mark the very next double crochet. So what we're going to do is we are going to hold this and bring our work towards us. So we're going to pinch it with the work coming towards us. So this is going to be a sleeve. So what I'm trying to do is making sure this row 1, the front of the double crochets are facing us, and then this very last row, the double crochets are away from us. Okay, so now we are going to double crochet into that same double that we have marked with the stitch marker. So I'm going to give it a bit of a pull so I can see it when I pull out and my yarn over, and double crochet right in there, trying to make sure it stays a little tighter. All right, now we're going to double crochet into the next 40. So by the time I'm done, we'll have a set of 41, because we already have one right here, but now we're going to work into the next 40. So go ahead and double crochet into the next 40 double crochet, and I will meet you when I get that 40th one done. I'll be right back. All right, so sorry, I'm giggling because it's something I'm watching while I'm making my tutorial. All right, so I have 41 double crochet right here. So now I'm going to pull up a loop, and we're going to count off 30 again. So we got there is 30. Mark that very next double crochet. I'm going to get back on my hook, and once again, fold your piece so that the stitches are coming towards you, just like this. I get my yarn out of the way, just like that. And into the stitch that I had marked, I'm going to work 1 double, all right. Now we should have 20 double crochet left, so that we'll have a set of 21 double, just like we had at the beginning. So I'm just going to go ahead and count off before I leave you guys. So I have 1, and we should have 21 by the time I get to the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Yay! All right, so I'm going to go ahead and double crochet into these last 20 doubles, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I've got that last double to work into, just like that. And now that is the last double crochet of round 7. So what we are going to do now is bring our other end, which you guys aren't going to have these tails that I have. We're going to bring our other end together, and we're going to slip stitch to the very first double crochet of round 7, row 7. I'm sorry, not round, row 7. Okay, so I'm going to stop. I'm actually just chain 1, and I'm going to pull up a loop, and this is what our piece should look like. So here's our little armholes, and now what we're going to do is start working the granny stitch for the dress part of our little piece here. So that was the end of our what's this called? The bodice, or the not yoke, but like the bodice part of the dress, and we're going to start the skirt part of the dress, okay? And it's super easy. So for row 8, if you haven't already, go ahead and chain 1, and into that very first double crochet that we just slip stitched into, we're going to go right back in it with 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1, skip 2 double, 3 double into the next double. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, skip 2, 3 double into the next double. And that's what I want you guys to repeat all the way around. Chain 1, skip 2, 3 double into the next double. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, skip 2, 3 double into the next, and repeat that all the way around. And when you get to this end, what's going to happen is you're going to have skip 2, you're going to have 3 double into this one, and or wait, is it into this one? I don't remember. I wrote it down, but it doesn't make sense now. I think it's actually you're going to have 3 double into the second to last double, and all we're going to do is chain 1, skip the last, slip stitch to the first. So I'm just going to repeat my pattern. Chain 1, skip 2, 3 double into the next. Chain 1, skip 2, 3 double, and we're going to work that straight across the armpit double crochet and go all the way around. We're not going to change a thing when we get to these armpit doubles. Just work them or skip them, whichever the pattern works out, and go right to the end, okay? I will meet you right there. Okay, so I repeated that all the way around, and I was right. It was the second to last is going to have your last 3 double crochet set in it, and you should have 28 granny shells or set of 3 double crochet shells, okay? So to end row 8, we're going to slip stitch to the first double crochet of the round. Make sure you get that chain 1 after you work your 3 double. Okay, so, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. My ear itched and I went to grab it ugh. I'm sorry, you guys, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so for row 9, what we're going to do is slip stitch to the next double, slip stitch to the next double, slip stitch into that chain 1 space, chain 1, and go right back in there with 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, 3 double crochet into the next chain 1 space. And that's what you're going to repeat all the way around. Chain 1, 3 double into the next chain 1 space. Chain 1, 3 double, chain 1, 3 double, chain 1, 3 double, all the way around. And I will meet you when we're into that last chain 1 space, okay? I'll be right back. All right, so I've repeated that around. I'm going to chain 1 and slip stitch to the first double crochet. And now all we're going to do is repeat row 9 until you get to the length you like. I'm not 100% sure how long I'm going to do mine yet, so I'm going to work mine off camera. And when I come back, I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to have my ends, all these spare ends weaved in too. But I'm going to show you guys how many rows I do. So I got ink pen all over me. So to start your row 9 again, just to remind you, you slip stitch to the next double, slip stitch to that next double, slip stitch to the chain 1 space, chain 1, and then start with your 3 double, chain 1, and then 3 double in each chain 1 space around. All right, so I will come back and I'm going to show you guys how many rows of the granny stitch I have, okay? So we have row 8 and row 9, and then I'll come back after that, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I worked, there's 8, 9, 1, 2, well, let's just do total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 total rows of the granny shell. And it measures, dun, 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 dun. I'm gonna measure just the granny shell part. It measures dang near 7 inches. And I wanted this to be more of a nightgown kind of dress. So what I decided to do is, and I did cherry pick through these colors. I'm sorry, I have to do it. I can't not do it. I know. And I weaved it on my ends, but I did leave this last end. And if you weaved yours in, don't worry about it. You can just do exactly what I'm getting ready to show you guys. So what I'm going to do is take a 4mm hook, and I'm going to get a slip knot on my hook. Actually, before we even get started, so after I finish this last row, I just slip stitch to the first, chain 1, pull up a loop, cut, weaved in my ends, and call it done. And now, so get all your ends weaved in, and now I'm just going to add a little tie to the back. And the reason that I'm doing that is because, like I said, I want it to be more of a nightgown dress. So I don't want any buttons on it or anything. So I'm just going to add the little tie in the back right here as a closure. So I'm going to go right into this. See that double crochet? It's upside down, but right there, I'm going to go right to the legs, push it through, come back through, and slip stitch, chain 1, pull up a loop. And if you weaved in this end already, just go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Make sure you have plenty of tail to weave in. I'm going to pull that knot tight, and then go ahead, grab one of my needles. I'm just going to weave this tail in real quick. Let's see, I'm going to come this way. There. Cut the right tail. Just about cut my one I'm using to tie the bow. All right. Now I am just going to tie this in a little bow. And then I'm going to trim up this tail. And there is our little dress. Now I did, after I got done crocheting this, I made this little bow with the lightest color. And I thought about just using some E6000 glue and just gluing that on. Just a little added something to it. I think it's adorable. Aww. Okay, so now that I've got that done, I want to make a little matching. Oh no, I dropped it. Hold on just a second. A little matching pair of booties. Like a little slipper. So this is the first one. So I'm going to do kind of like my dress. I'm going to insert a... Okay, yeah, I am. I'm going to insert a link in the description box. And it's a pattern to an original that I did. When did I do that? Maybe last year, year before. It's the exact same pattern. The only difference is I used a 4mm crochet hook. So in the description box is going to be the links for the video to make the bootie. And just use a 4mm hook. Don't change color. And then I just used E6000 and glued a little bow on the little bootie. And then also the link for Llama Mama Kayla's blanket that I got the inspiration for this little set from. Okay, so I'm going to put this on my little mannequin in front of you guys. In front of you, like you're here, for you guys. So you can see my little mannequin here. Like I said, this fits 0 to 3 month Granimal clothes from Walmart. You guys can get an idea of how this little dress fits my little mannequin. Oh, it's so cute. Just tying the bow. And there we go. So now I am going to get a nice little placement for where I want this little bow to go. And I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to get my glue. And I am just going to dab it on the back. There we go. Aww. Let that dry. I usually always let it go overnight. I don't think it necessarily has to go overnight, but that's just what I do. Okay, guys. So that is it. I need to make the other little booty too. I hope you guys enjoyed my little tutorial. And like I said in the intro, the link for the baby blanket and the pillow set that I made, I'm going to put the directions for that, the link for Llama Mama Kayla's little tutorial she did for that. I'm going to put the link in the description box, so you guys, if you decide, you want to make that, just head over there and get and watch her tutorial, and then of course, the link for the little baby booty. All right, so I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave me a comment and let me know what you guys think of this little set. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.